Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.
Hello and welcome to a new episode on our podcast. And today, if you are in a company, enterprise, and you want to get better idea of your IT, this is the episode for you. I want to present Dr. Mohan Babu-Murugesan. Hey, Mohan, how are you?
Hi, Ilyas. I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Thank you very much for joining us today. I want to present you for those who don't know you. You are from BitSecure. It's a big company that does IT for many businesses and organizations around the world. So Dr. Mohan, can you just give us, a little brief about BitSecure and its services? What do you offer to those who listen to us right now?
BitSecure IT is a solution provider and an integrator in UAE and Oman. We operate from 4 branch offices and 1 retail outlet across the region. In the last 10 years, if you ask me, we have done 600 plus successful projects. And the verticals the domains which we service on data center solution, unified communication, networking, both wired and wireless, and security. Again, on the security, we do physical and then digital security, both part of it. Currently, we are catering into multiple verticals like government and enterprise, hospitals and hospitality sectors. And educational institution. These are the areas which demands robust IT infrastructure solutions, which should be reliable, redundant, and secured. Wherein we have got that expertise for providing such services for all these industries region.
Amazing. And tell us a little bit, about IT. It's a big word. It can relate to, even fixing a worker's computer or an employee's computer to creating huge data centers. Correct. So what are those areas, BitSecure are most professional for?
See, okay, let's split this into two things. One is an end user things and the backend system. So for example, as an end user, you do not know what is running behind to give you all the infrastructure in place. So as an end user, you have your laptop, which gives you an UI to operate everything. But there is a backend infrastructure, which is your data center, which is your server storage, wireless infrastructure, and the telecommunication part. So basically, we are more into the infrastructure solution where we handle a data center solution, unified communication, network, both wired and wireless, and then the security. So when I mean security, we do both the physical and digital security, both part of it.
Okay, so maybe let's start with security because I know it's a very big issue, especially on enterprises. How do you stay safe on online today? Because it's been so difficult. Every time there is new hackers and new breaches of data and problems. So how do you manage to keep and stay safe? Especially in a big enterprise with many confidential information.
Okay, so basically, data is something which is exposed today, or we are afraid that somebody is going to hack it because data is the new oil today. So cybersecurity becomes very vital part of any organization, be it small or bigger. The hackers are eyeing on your data. So cybersecurity plays a vital role because, before cybersecurity used to be a part of your infrastructure, but now cybersecurity should be in part of your every layer of your organization because be it your employee or your infrastructure, both should be having that kind of facility to manage things. So let's take an example like you have your cybersecurity in place. You have put all your firewalls, your other solutions, softwares, everything in place. But if your end user is not educated, you have seen a lot of links coming on emails and then on SMS that people just prone to click something and then you lose all control of your laptop. But actually you're not losing on your laptop alone, you are actually exposing your network to the outsider. So basically it becomes difficult for organization to educate the end users, which is their employees, as well as to have a proper infrastructure in place. So there are currently, I think zero trust security it's been implemented in a lot of organization where they don't trust anybody. So before, for example, you are a user, you come to the office on day-to-day basis, and we feel you are a secured person, but today everybody is vulnerable. We don't know who is carrying what. So this zero trust security, what it does is it ensures that everything is like it doesn't trust anybody, and each access is given based on the every request. So these are some of the architecture or concepts which organizations are adapting now.
Yeah, and definitely it's a very important thing, because even if you feel, as you said, a very secured person and you know exactly what links to click and what not to, sometimes it doesn't look like the right link to link, and you still do. So a lot of people need to know and be aware of it. And I want to ask you, because I know that you're working with many hospitals and government facilitates, and you help them create their own unique IT solution. Can you just elaborate on that? How you come up with the best IT solution for an organization?
Okay, so basically we are into many verticals. So if I need to list down, so let's consider we are working on hospitality and healthcare, educational institutions, and government and corporate sectors. All these sectors demands robust IT infrastructure solution, which should be reliable, redundant, as well as secured. So with our expertise, we'll be able to deliver this kind of solution to any kind of large corporates or any verticals for that matter.
And when you go to, let's say an educational facility, how do you find out the best solution for it? What things do you consider when you're trying to match the right IT or solution?
Okay, since you mentioned educational institution, the bigger challenge is one is the bandwidth. The second is the secured part of it. When I mean, it's not only the external security, but you need to know what kind of content is being delivered to the students. So it is very important that your content filtering works properly, what kind of contents these students are accessing. So we ensure that we do a consulting approach here. We understand the pain point of the client, their business objectives, and then based on that we perform the gap analysis, and then we provide solution to them. So we have done a lot of educational institution where this area was a challenge to them, and we have done almost like 25 plus educational institution within UAE and Oman in the last 1 year, and we'll continue to do that.
Amazing. And, when speaking about education, let's bring up another topic, which is, remote learning or remote teaching. Sometimes the teachers are not present at school. Sometimes the children, they are not present at school for some reason, and you still want to be able to teach. I know that many do it, with softwares like Zoom, for example. So, but the problem is, as you said, security, because once all the students are in the same facility, then it's much, much easier. But when it becomes remote, it becomes more of a challenge. So how do you still keep everything secured even though it's not in the same place?
So when you said remote learning or hybrid work, whichever way, it becomes a challenge, because any user who's outside your organization are using your equipments, but they are using your network. So it becomes a challenge in terms of IT. But then IT is the only sector which was able to balance during the COVID period, if you can recollect, because during those period we were able to bring in the remote learning or remote work in place, both in terms of the educational platform as well as the corporate platform. So both we were able to manage. I still remember that there were challenges where teacher used to be sitting in school and the students accessing from outside, wherein the bandwidth could be constrained, where they could not cope up with that. So that's where people felt the importance of Wi-Fi or the network importance when they were outside the network, and the importance of security. So there were breaches involved, but still I think we were able to manage with certain solution and components, and then we were able to manage those periods.
Yeah, and if we're talking about healthcare, which also is something that you do greatly on BitSecure, one of the things that's most important are the fastness of the internet. Making sure the information will come as fast as possible, as easy as possible for the teams out in the ground, because they are taking care of people's lives.
Right.
So how do you make sure even with millions of the data points that you still get able to get the right one at the right time?
Okay, so Since you meant healthcare, so each industry demands its own requirement. In terms, some demands the security level should be very high. Still, they compromise on performance. But we as a company, we focus on both the things, performance as well as security. As you mentioned rightly, hospital is a place where you need everything quick, and then there should be no lag in the data transfer or things like that. So we ensure when we do. So we have done a lot of networking project with the hospitals. When we design a solution, we ensure redundancy is placed so that there is no failover like no
downtime.
No downtime, exactly.
Yeah.
And when there is on the edge side, when we call that as edge side, where all the medical equipments are connected, we ensure that the performance of the network is pretty good. So all those factors are first considered during the design stage, like reliability, dependency, as well as the failover mechanism. So we consider all those factors during the design stage and then do the deployment. And while deploying, that's the more challenge area where you ensure that there is no disruption with the existing environment, and then you do your deployment as well. And post deployment is our support services, where we always look for a long term relationship with the client, and then our team is always in terms of meeting their SLAs and then giving the best service as possible.
And regarding that, another field you're working with, which I'm really fascinated about, which is government, because the thing about government is everyone trying to hack them all the time, sometimes even million times an hour. Okay. They can hold amazing amounts of attacks because everyone wants to get this personal data that only the governments have. Yeah. When the biggest challenge maybe of government is to keep their data safe and out of breaches. So how do you do it? How do you handle so much, cyber attacks? Sometimes even in a very short periods of time.
So if you look at this region, at least the way the government or the government semi-government sectors, they've built so reliable a secured network. In terms, nobody can get into the network. See, cybersecurity in a part that people keep trying to hack. It's as we think that it's not a 1 day or 2 day. It takes even months or years to crack a network. So basically, you have to be consistent in the especially in cybersecurity. Since you mentioned of government, we are doing a lot of we have provided a lot of applications which understands the threats. Also, now we are coming up with AI-based AI-driven solution where it understands the attackers mechanism, or so when we try to bring in AI to understand the hackers also bring AI to get into
understand the AI
so
never-ending cycle.
It is both way. We are stuck. Like, we are not stuck. We are using it for a good way. They are using it for another way. So there are challenges, but then I think with the AI based solutions which we are entering into the market, we see a good scope, or even the solutions are better than before. The human interventions are reduced as much as possible, because before somebody has to sit and then monitor. Now the patterns are being understood by the AI itself. So it is becoming easier in terms of technology, but there are the other part of it. Even the hackers are getting intelligent. Like, they are intelligent, but they are using the same technology to crack yours.
So Mohan, I want to ask you, because we mentioned many challenges of many, of the fields of work that you do, but I want to ask you, in particular in the IT world, what are the other challenges you feel enterprises and other companies are facing today in regarding of their IT environment?
Okay, so data growth is something which I feel is a challenge which companies are facing today, because data is growing from edge to cloud. So when I mean edge, from the end user, it grows till the cloud. So the recent statistics says that within 2025, there is 200 zettabyte of data going to get generated. When you speak about this huge data, enterprise needs to really look at the growth factor consider the growth factor and their existing environment. So one is collecting the data and then analyzing it and then using it and then protecting it. So that becomes a big challenge for them in terms of structured and unstructured data, both ways. So data and the important factor in terms of the compliance, handling the data is a bigger task today.
Yeah, definitely. And, if we may mention, bigger tasks, we mentioned a little bit about hybrid work, both remote and at place work, about education. But, it's also something that happens greatly in organizations today. Everyone, wants to get their employees to work 1 day or 2 days from their house, and the other time from the company's facilitate. So how do you do it on the best way? How do you make sure that the work is being made and no data breaches being made while going outside?
So we implement certain parameters or a solution in terms of achieving this. One is we want the employees to work wherever they are in a secured way, and then there is no data breach happening. So one is the connectivity within your office, where it should be secured between your laptop and your office, which we ensure it happens through a secure tunnel or we also do a SD-WAN solution for multiple offices. Secondly, your communication. So communication could be anything, your voice communication or video communication or your email communication. All these communication, like when it is a large corporate, they ensure that the data resides either on their own premises or on the regional cloud. So there are challenges where they wanted to maintain the privacy of the data as well as the as well as the communication part. So what happens is when an employee is outside the organization, it is ensured that you follow the policies and compliance of the organization, and there is no performance issue happening during your work. So we ensure this on the back end. We ensure this with a lot of other applications, monitoring tools, data leak protection tools, and even securing these devices from vulnerability.
Amazing. And I want to ask you also about, because IT, is about, helping a group of many people, work together in the best coordination, the best time possible. And I know that, managing those things, from as a whole can be very challenging as well. So how can you, able to manage, the entire network as a whole, and also make sure that each one of the employees are, doing whatever they should be, going to the sites they should be in and not the site they shouldn't be, trying to do whatever they want, but still may able to create breaches like we spoke. So how do you do it, on a large basis, on a macro basis?
Okay, so there are two components of it, or we look at two things of it. One is the devices which is connecting to the environment. Second, the content which have been accessed. So there are situations where employees bring their own devices and then connect it to the network. So now with the technology and solution, we bring access control within the network. So when I mean access control, you connect your laptop or your mobile or whichever devices you have, but the access will be only provided based on the device policies. We ensure that those policies are pushed to those devices, and then those devices only access certain infrastructure within the organization. So this is on the device level. On the content level, yes, we do content filtering, and as you mentioned that we ensure that only the required sites are to be accessed. So all those are done on the filtering level on the firewall. So that has been taken care on the other side. So network access control and content filtering is something which becomes a basic need of any organization today. Network access control is vital today because you don't know who's having how many devices. We design a solution for 300 users, but we end up seeing 1,000 devices connected on that network because everybody has 3-4 devices, right? So we think of the scalability of the solution as well as the secure part of it.
Amazing. That's very, very important. And also, as you mentioned, employees bring their devices. Sometimes we add new devices to the system. So the system always needs to be, creating better solutions. And Mohan, I want to also ask you, because I know that you've doing this works and infrastructure for many years, for many companies. I want you to maybe bring out the story of one of our clients that you helped him, create his good infrastructure back in his company.
Okay, so maybe I can share a recent challenge of a client who came to us for as an educational institution. Their challenge was two. One is to manage the bandwidth within the school. Second is the content part of it, and third is device management. When we heard these challenges, we were able to, like, we have done many of such solution, but then it was easy for us to design a solution for them. So what we did is we came up with a solution of bifurcating the bandwidth from the student level till the teachers till the top management. We bifurcated each user's requirement, and then we did a load balancing within their firewall, because in terms of ISP, it becomes very the billing becomes very higher when you choose the higher plans. For example, an 100 Mbps might cost you, I'm just giving an example, I'm not sure, but an 100 Mbps would cost you 10,000 dirhams, but if you go for an 200 Mbps, it could cost you 50,000. So that kind of bigger gap it is. So what we did is we were able to do a bandwidth management for them, bringing down their monthly costing. Second, we were able to bring in NAC solution, which is an access control solution for the devices which they are connecting. Thirdly, the content management. So we were able to bring in solutions from Microsoft and other major brands. And then what we did is we were able to do a device management. In terms, you bring any devices, you bring your own iPad or your own tablet for any of the students. They connect to the network, but it becomes the responsibility of the school to manage their content. So this was something which we were able to achieve with our solution.
Amazing. So it's a all-in-one solution, which is very good. And Mohan, because we spoke a lot about IT infrastructures, and I know there are many IT companies, especially in this area, that gives an IT solution. Can you tell us what sets BitSecure apart from other companies?
So BitSecure, when we get an opportunity, we look at in a way of a consulting approach. As I told you, we don't sell any products. We try to see that as a solution. So first thing is the factors which we are so keen is, like, we make a tailored solution which fits in for your requirement, because each vertical have different requirements. So we ensure that the solution which we are proposing, it's tailored to you. Second, we do end-to-end services. When I mean end-to-end services, we do from structured cabling till data center. So we have in-house capabilities of engineers and technicians who get into multiple layer of the end-to-end services. So structured cabling or data center or unified communication, or be it physical or digital security. So we have expertise of engineers in each of these verticals. And third, we always look at the advanced security as a focus point on any project. And fourth, we also ensure that after sales, which is after completion of the project, we provide proper maintenance and support to our client. So these are the four factors which helps us to differentiate from our competition. And in fact, from the day we get the opportunity, be it the pre-sales stage or deployment stage or the post-sales support, we ensure that customer satisfaction is key. So that's the elements which we always focus on.
Yeah, one of the most important things. And I want also to elaborate a little bit about the maintenance and support, because I feel, that you create really elaborate systems with many, bits and parts and softwares and all of that. And those softwares and infrastructures need proper maintenance all of the time to make sure that they continue working, continue give out service, continue providing internet, providing whatever infrastructures there is. So how do you do it? Can you just elaborate on how your maintenance and support are working? If I'm an organization to just finish the work with you, what can I expect?
Okay, so once we complete a project and we hand it over to the customer, then comes the support part of it. So any organization where we have done project, usually we sign a maintenance contract with them, and then we have a project team, we have a support team which ensures that the tickets are being handled on the specified SLA. So whenever a contract is made, we agree on certain SLAs. It could be a 2 hours or a 4 hours based on the priority of the tickets we get, and then it's been taken care from our support team. So we have specific support engineers who focus on only this maintenance part of it, be it a preventive maintenance or an incident based tickets. We ensure that we meet the SLAs.
Amazing. So that's very important to know. And I also want to ask you a little bit about the future of BitSecure. Where do you see the company growing, and what projects you would like it to see in the future?
Okay, so BitSecure as a company, we have been an IT infrastructure company for last 10 years, and in last 2 years we have been focusing on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity as a service is something which we are focusing on, and we are trying to bring in specialized managed security services, which we will take it with our existing clients or the clients who are looking for cybersecurity as a service CAS model. This is one services which we wanted to grow bigger because the market demands the security part of it. And second, we are as a company, we are going to other regions within GCC. Currently, we are operating in Dubai and Oman, UAE and Oman. So we will be getting into other GCC countries as well.
Amazing. So very good news for everyone that needs IT security and cybersecurity solutions here. And Mohan, it's the final part of our interview, so we're close to the end. So if there is anything else we'd like to share with our listeners?
No, thank you very much, Elias. In fact, it was more an interactive session. I thought that it's going to be tougher for me to handle this, but you made it easy. So thank you so much.
And I just want to thank you again for all the information and data you collected us, because it's really, it's a big thing. And I know that once we get the right data and information, this is the way to make a better mind. So thank you again for that. Dr. Mohan Babu-Murugesan, for all the information you gave us from BitSecure.
Thank you, Elias. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.